Welcome back, hustlers. My name's Athan, and you're listening to Resell Radio, where we interview Depop sellers, resellers, and people in the fashion industry to give you the insights you need to help you grow your own shop. We don't just interview Depop sellers on this show, and Hustle, the business that we've created, isn't the only brand out there that has looked at Depop, seen an opportunity, and decided to build something based off of it. M.A.D, M.A.D, Mad About Depop. They are a brand that have created a magazine based on Depop sellers, people in the fashion industry, and only 2 episodes in, its creator, Olivia Tuffrey, has been recognised by Depop for the work that she's doing and has been invited onto the Depop Now/Next program. Super impressed with the results that she's managed to get, super impressed with the quality of our product, especially considering that she's only on the 2nd issue of the magazine. She, like us, has spent a lot of time talking to sellers all across Depop and beyond. So not only is this a great story to hear from a young entrepreneur that has made some really big moves already, but also someone who's managed to pick up loads of insight from all across the marketplace that she's been willing to share.
First thing to say is how impressed I am with the magazine. This is my copy of it. And yeah, like I was saying to you already, it just doesn't look like an amateur piece of work, you know? When I got it through, I wasn't expecting you to produce something that good by the 2nd issue. I was just really impressed with the quality. How much time do you put into the magazine? How long does it take?
Well, it varies. So the first issue, it was part of my university project. So it took me, I had like a good kind of, I'm going to say 6 months, maybe even longer. It was kind of December to May. My maths is that 5 months? I think it's 5 months. It took me about that long to do the first one, and then graduated and was like, I love this, I'm going to carry on, let's like push it out there, let's see what happens. So I then started creating issue 2 in August. So I kind of gave myself like the summer break and then kind of got stuck into it again. And that took me, I say August, maybe it's like September, I think. So September to October, I was like hardcore, just like on my laptop, severe eye strain, going for it, messaging like every kind of Depopper and creative that I thought kind of like bonded well with what I like, my brand's ethos. And then it kind of took me about maybe 3 or 4 months, I'm gonna say. And then pre-orders ran for about 4 weeks, which I want to decrease next time. I think that's too long for a pre-order, but I just wanted to get it perfect, so I had to do that. But yeah, long story short, about 4 months, I would say.
I mean, you can tell that you spent a long time on it. You've really invested. This isn't like a magazine that gets pushed out every week, you know.
No,
there's a lot that's gone into it.
I mean, like hopefully, like the dream would be to be like a quarterly publication. So like spring, summer, winter, and autumn, like one every season. But it's just not possible, just me. So maybe if I like grow a team or something in the future, I can do that. But for now, I think it will be like 2 or 3 a year.
Yeah. So what were you actually?
More exclusive.
Sorry, say again.
I was going to say, which like, when there's less, it kind of makes it more exclusive. Like it's not 100%. Like constant, like it's kind of more kind of like designed and kind of exclusive, which is always a bonus.
Because when people hear magazine, you know, they think it's that kind of produced every week, kind of like a visual newspaper, but it's not that. It's almost a documentation. Yeah, exactly. A book of what Depop has been doing the last few months. So it'd be good to get it out quarterly with how people are changing, get the same people on. Yeah,
that's so true. That's a good way to think of it, actually.
So what are you actually doing your degree in?
So I've graduated now. So I did fashion media in Southampton, and I graduated in May. So my degree was like a COVID degree, I guess. Like I couldn't do half the things I wanted to do, which is really annoying. I was going to go to Depop and like film a kind of HQ documentary, which fell through because obviously couldn't do that. So I kind of just had to make the best out of a bad situation, and I couldn't do like a few shoots that I wanted to do, which was really annoying. But yeah, so fashion media, which kind of led on to this.
Yeah, so that stuff you've been doing with Depop, I know you're doing the Depop Now Next kind of program. Do you want to talk about that a bit? What is that?
So it's so exciting. So basically, Depop kind of selected 5 like entrepreneur, creative people in the world, and wanted to kind of invest within their brand, their company, and they kind of chose these people based on the word circularity. So circularity is literally like like, I guess, the circle of life. So like the circle of something. So my magazine, like, it's circular. It kind of, the money I get from it goes back into it, and it goes round and round and round. It's sustainable. So the lifespan of it is it's made like sustainably with like recycled paper, recycled ink, and then it goes round and it can be recycled. So like the kind of lifespan and stuff of something. So obviously my magazine like preaches that. So which is why I got chosen. And they're just kind of going to be running like mentorship kind of talks across, like, it's a 6-month program, so they're going to run talks across that 6 months about content creation, social media, sustainability, Depop, a Q&A with Simon, who's the founder of Depop, just all sorts of stuff. Like, it's just great. Like, it's just brilliant exposure, really exciting to, like, I've met like some amazing people that work at Depop who are in my shoes, who are being kind of like chosen, and like it's just brilliant. Like, it's a great way to network and kind of feel recognized and stuff. So very exciting about that.
Yeah, that must be a really, really good opportunity to actually meet the people at Depop, you know. The fact that you're on the second issue of a magazine and you've already been recognized by the brand the magazine is about to do a 6-month program is fucking crazy, Olivia. There's people grinding out here for 4 or 5 years trying to achieve those kind of results, you know.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, super impressive. So do you know what you're actually going to be doing with them over the next couple months? I've seen you got a video up.
Not really. Yes, there was a teaser, an IGTV teaser on Depop's Instagram, with the other girls who were kind of in the program. But I don't know, like, I don't know what the kind of the talks and the Zooms and stuff will hold. Hopefully, like, we can all meet like physically when we're allowed to, and like kind of go to the HQ and like have like face-to-face meetings and stuff. But in terms of kind of what's going to happen and like the content and stuff that I'm going to learn, I have no idea. But it's basically the kind of whole message of this program is helping brands get from where they are now to the next step. So with this mentorship and some funding, we'll see what happens with that kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's great. It's amazing. Like, it's literally a once in a lifetime opportunity. But yeah, very exciting stuff.
So I'm assuming through that program and obviously through the interviews in the magazine, you'll have met loads of other sellers. And I think we're both in an interesting position because what we do is all about meeting the other sellers as opposed to necessarily what we do. So I'm just wondering if you've kind of picked up any insights from speaking to that community, what you kind of learned from all these sellers that you speak to.
Got loads, I would say. Like, it's been a lot of kind of like cyber meeting. So I've met a couple of Depoppers. I went to a pop-up shop I can't remember where it was in London, but it was Susa Moose's Depop pop-up shop.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I met a few of them there. But in terms of actually meeting, it's obviously been impossible. Like, ideally, I'd love to do like loads of shoots with them and kind of actual like interviews over like a coffee or something, but I can't do that. But from speaking to them all, like, it's I mean, literally the magazine is just like a whole kind of document of advice and how to be this, how to do that kind of thing. So I've learned stuff in that respect of just being brave, being confident, like just going for it, pushing yourself out there, out of your comfort zone. Something that I've learned as well is not following trends in a way. So if you're selling, like, if you're like kind of gothic, you like kind of like dark clothes and that kind of thing, if you're going to start selling like Y2K 90s stuff, your heart's not going to be in it because you don't love that. So I've kind of learned that they sell what they love, and then it's easier and more passionate and more real to kind of push it out there and promote it and sell it. So I guess that's like something I've learned, is kind of just following what you really like, because if you don't like it, you're not gonna succeed as well as you could if you love the product or the things you're selling.
Yeah, I think that's something that in one way or another, most people have said that I've spoken to, that I think it's true of a Depop seller and probably also true of the magazine that you've created. You know, I don't think that there's probably 99% of people watching this that wouldn't be able to produce a magazine to the quality that you have, because the background you've come from, there's clearly a lot of like authenticity and passion that's gone into it to work for something for that long. That means that you can produce something really great in that space. But if I came along and tried to make a magazine, I wouldn't be able to do half as good a job, you know? So sticking to the things that you actually enjoy and mean something to you means, you know, the same amount of work, 10 times bigger results.
Yeah, that's very true. It's like, stick with what you know, but also don't shut yourself off and think, oh, well, I don't know how to do that, so I'm not going to give it a go. Like, still give everything a go, but don't be afraid to just do what you know.
Yeah, it's that balance, isn't it? It's knowing what you're good at. Like, for example, I'm not very good at writing, so I would never try to put content out that was about me writing a blog or something, because it would just sound shit. But I'm all right at speaking. I can stand up and say some stuff, but I'm going to do that. But at the same time, that's not, well, I don't really feel comfortable speaking in front of 100,000 people, so I'm going to shy away from it. It's what am I naturally good at, and what can I maybe get a little bit better at by going out my comfort zone a bit.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's frozen.
So of all the people that you've spoken to, it's lagging a little bit, but we'll do on the magazine. Who's one that kind of stands out, having done something a little bit different?
In terms of fashion and aesthetic and kind of that kind of thing, the Depop shop Sad Sack, which is run by Daniel, his stock is really, really innovative and interesting and unique. Like I haven't seen that before ever. So in terms of kind of that, him.
100%.
I guess there's just so many. Like I've literally got all these names going on in my head. Minnie's World, I just love her. Like Adjoa, she's just amazing. Like her content is so good. Her TikToks are so funny. Like she's brilliant. Just all of them, yeah. But I guess to really narrow it down, those two are kind of people that like catch my eye when they post stuff. And I love the pattern studio. She's just amazing. Like Rumi's really, really cool. Like her aesthetic, just everything. Like I think I've said to her before, so I spoke on a podcast or like an IGTV with Delightful Tack, and I said that if I had a Depop shop and I was going to put my time and effort and really do it, I want it to be like the pattern studio. So those three, I would say, are like top in my mind at the moment.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at Minnie's World and Pattern Studio.
Yeah, definitely.
But Sad Sack, I literally spoke to him last week.
Did you?
He's doing something different, man.
Yes.
Something different. Like, just speaking to him, he just seems so authentic, and
that's what he wants.
I don't know if I have the words to describe it, but of all the ones I've spoken to, all the Depop sellers, he's the one I think is really onto something.
Yeah.
Like his Sad Sack brand is really going to turn into something in the next 5 years.
Yeah, he was in issue 1. Did an interview with him about there's so many. I think it was about how to like thrift like properly, how to do it successfully, and that was a really interesting kind of top tip feature, which was really good. And the other two that I've mentioned as well, they've been Minnie's World was in issue 1, and Pattern Studio's been in issue 1 and 2, just because her imagery is insane. So I was like, I need you again.
Yeah, no, I definitely have to give them a check out afterwards.
Yeah, definitely do. So, what everyone do.
So producing a magazine then, what kind of skills, I mean, you've obviously come from a fashion media background, but what kind of skills did you need to actually create something like that?
Well, first of all, knowing the software. So I use Adobe, which has got Illustrator, Photoshop, InDesign, Premiere Pro, like all those kind of things. So knowing them like the back of your hand is imperative. Like you need to know that, because I mean, I'm sure there's other ways to create a magazine and that kind of thing with other softwares, but this was the one I was taught, and when I was like applying for jobs, that learning those skills for those softwares was like you had to. So knowing that's really great. But I think so knowing the software, like the technical side of it, being able to like kind of scour social media and like find people and do some kind of, I guess, influence outreaching is essentially what it is. So finding people that have got something to say, fit kind of a certain aesthetic that your magazine is holding, so like colourful, bright, really nice imagery. I've literally probably asked about 600 questions, like because and it's difficult to like churn out new questions that aren't like, when did you start a Depop shop? What do you love about Depop? Like I have to like probably think about ways of kind of wording things really interestingly, like to keep kind of readers engaged. And also if I was getting asked questions in an interview, I want interesting ones. I don't want like what's your favorite color, like so being able to like I guess think on your feet and like ask different questions. Like there's just so much, like social media, like kind of social media strategies and marketing, like what posts do better, just loads of stuff comes under it. Like creative direction, styling, photography, blog, like article writing, feature writing. Like, yeah, I wear a lot of hats. Like,
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it. So, is this what you want to do? Do you want to be an entrepreneur? Is that what the magazine's kind of the push direction you're pushing you in, or is it just a thing on the side? It's a bit of fun, and actually your heart's elsewhere.
well, I think my heart's definitely in this. But in terms of the future, like I don't know what it holds. Like, I'm currently working like with a really good brand as a marketing assistant, which I love. But yeah, this is like my passion project, and in an ideal world, I'll be able to do everything and have like my fingers in all the pies. But this is like, yeah, this is my passion. This is like, I would love to see this kind of be in a shop window, like on a shelf in like an independent like magazine shop or something. That would be the dream. But who knows?
Yeah, exactly. That would be amazing though, you know. After 5 years of hard work, to see it actually on a shop as you walk past the window would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be great. And I just can't wait. Like issue 1, it hasn't got, it's like issue 2 has a spine, whereas issue 1 did. And I'm annoyed at myself for not doing it, but I wanted to do something different. But I can't wait until I have like all of them like stacked up with like issue 1, 2, 3, 4, and like all the 100. That'd be great, like Vogue.
That there is an almost fairy tale story of someone turning a passion project into a successful business and now recognized brand. What resonated for me talking to Olivia, when she said that it took her 5 to 6 months to make that first magazine, the reason that really hit me was because, first of all, I'm a big advocate for consistency over a long period of time, staying committed to something. How many times have we all started something and given up after the first month or two? Well, if Olivia had given up before 5-6 months have passed, she never would have got the results that she's getting so quickly because of the energy that she put into her first project. So first of all, it resonated for that reason, but secondly, because coincidentally, it took us about 5-6 months to mature our initial idea into what we now called Hustle. And that was before we started consistently releasing Instagram content, Facebook, TikTok, all those different platforms. The podcast, which we only launched about a month ago now, that was just us having the idea and maturing it to the point where we could actually release something and show it to the world. If we'd given up at that 2-3 month point, none of this would be happening right now. And now it's opened so many doors. We're meeting so many different people. And I imagine Olivia's doing exactly the same. Maybe M.A.D will get to the 100th episode magazine, keep going forever. Maybe M.A.D will get to the 10th episode and Olivia will think of something new because a new opportunity's opened up. The point is, if she hadn't put in those first 5 or 6 months worth of work, she would never be in a position now where she's been picked out of 15 million users from Depop, recognized for the work that she is doing. She's got an incredible story. I'm super excited to see what the future holds for her. Everyone she mentioned in the pods will be in the description. If you want to listen to any of the other episodes, we'll have some of those in the description as well. Also available on Spotify, all the audio platforms. Hustlers, thank you for giving us your time. This is happening because you're giving us your time. Hope you have a great day. I hope you have an even better week. Keep hustling. We believe in you.